Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're going to be talking about some big name free agents here on the show. And then at the end, I am going to discuss a move that the Silver and Black made before I started this live show. If you've been seeing a lot of news and rumors out there, it's the off season, and there's a lot of content creators that, believe it or not, make content to provide for their families. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that content, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you my spin, my twist on everything that I've gone out and seen. So the first story up here is around Daryl Williams. Y'all know I love me some Daryl Williams. And do you think that the Raiders have interest in Williams? I'm actually going to go ahead and give this one 3 just win babies, and I do think that it's pretty likely. This does not mean that it's going to happen. It does not mean that the Raiders are going to go out and sign him. I just think what really it comes down to is they see how talented he is, and that, yes, there better be some interest in him. That doesn't mean that they don't like Brandon Parker. The reason why it's not 4 just win babies is because they've already said they like their current offensive line group. But the fact that Bleacher Report released an article titled, "The Best Remaining 2022 NFL Free Agents Left Available," they linked Williams and another player who we'll discuss here in a second to the Silver and Black. Why? The Las Vegas Raiders' biggest weakness right now, it is still right tackle. I don't care what Bleacher Report says. I don't care what another person says. I'm telling you right now, the biggest weakness for this team, the biggest question mark, is still at right tackle. Here's what BR had to go ahead and say about Daryl Williams joining the Raiders. While Williams won't light the world on fire, hopefully not, he represents a high floor and has experience as a guard and a tackle. He's only a year removed from posting an impressive 79.4 grade at right tackle from PFF in 2020, and he gave up just 4 sacks and posted a 67.5 grade on 1,172 offensive snaps this past year while splitting time between guard and tackle. He will turn 30 just before the season and has played in every regular season game over the last 3 seasons, so health shouldn't be a concern. Given his experience, he would make sense for any team that is unsure about their plan at right tackle or can use depth on the inside. So I think that we would all agree the Raiders need a right tackle, and I think everyone right now watching the show, I want Daryl Williams to come to Las Vegas. So if you want Daryl Williams in the Silver and Black, protecting Derek Carr, I need you to share this video on Twitter right now. I'm going to be giving shout-outs. I'm going to be retweeting them as well. So right now, underneath the video, you better click that share button. You better select that Twitter icon. Tag me at MitchellRens365. Use the hashtag Daryl to Vegas. Click tweet. Why? Because I want this video to go viral. I want Daryl Williams to see this video. I want the Raiders to see this video because I want Daryl Williams as my right tackle. If somebody's like, all right, Mitch, convince me why he should be the right tackle. Well, one, he's a lot better than Brandon Parker. And on top of that, Williams, when he's given the opportunity to play right tackle, he's played a lot better. The 67.5 grade you see was because they also put him out at guard. The years that he's had his best years, 79.4, 2017, 77.2 overall. Look at the snaps at right tackle. Over 1,000. If you put Williams on your right side, he has shown that he's not just an average guy. And Bleacher Report saying he's not going to light the world on fire. He might not light the world on fire at guard, but at tackle, he can help. And God forbid that maybe he has that versatility. You can then throw him in on the inside. All I'm saying is this. Daryl Williams to Las Vegas makes a lot of sense. And adding him, it's going to help your entire line. We can have all these great skill position players. We can have Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams. But if Carr doesn't have time to throw to him, what the hell does it matter? So it protects you at your most important asset. That's also Derek Carr. DC, who you're trying to give a lot of money to, if he's not upright, he's not going to be able to throw the football. On top of that, go back and you look at your most recent, we'll say drafts, or most recent assets that you want to make sure that they actually plan out the right way. By going out and getting him, Daryl Williams, it's going to help out Leatherwood. One of the reasons why Leatherwood struggled so damn much this past year, because Brandon Parker, he couldn't rely on him. Andre James couldn't 100% rely on him all the time. And then for Parham, who you drafted in round 3, it helps those young guys out. So if you want to get them going on the right track, go get yourself Daryl Williams. Hopefully you guys went ahead and you shared this video on Twitter, because I'm telling you all right now, I'm going to be looking, and you better be helping me try to get Daryl Williams to the Silver and Black. Coming up next, guys, we got more Raiders free agency rumors. We're going to be talking about another player that Bleacher Report linked to the Silver and Black, and then on top of that, we're going to be talking some veteran cornerbacks. Before I get into all of that, if the Raiders go out and sign Daryl Williams, if they go out and they make a move, I got you covered here. So subscribe right now to the #1 most watched Raiders channel on YouTube. We are trying to get to 115,000 subs. We have that dedication. Why? I got that commitment to excellence. I know the Raiders Report audience has that commitment to excellence. And if you have just like an insane need for Raiders content, free Raiders content, we got you covered here, so subscribe and turn on those notifications. All right, the next story coming up here on the Raiders Report is around Trey Flowers. So just like Daryl Williams, Bleacher Report also released an article, again, linking the Raiders and Trey Flowers. Is the interest, though, as strong? I'm going to say no, but I do think it's at least 2 just-win babies. And the only reason I'm going to go ahead and say that is because of the connection between Flowers and his previous coaching regimes, which was Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. I get it. So that familiarity, like, there has to be at least somebody picking up the phone and say, hey, Trey, what the hell happened these past few years in Detroit? And if I was Trey Flowers, and if I was Flowers' agent, I'd be like, well, this might surprise you, but the Detroit Lions are a dumpster fire. If you want to know how bad it is to be a Lions fan, go on YouTube, look up this guy named Micro Mike, watch the intro to just 20 of his videos, and he'll tell you in every single one of them. It's bad, man. So I don't really want to put all the blame just on Trey Flowers. I'm wondering if maybe just the Detroit Lions are a dumpster fire, because when I look at some of the numbers here from 2016 to 2017, he was one of the best defensive ends in all of football. That's why he got a 6-year, $90 million deal. He was the highest paid defensive end in the NFL at one point. Do I think he's going to be that? No, of course I don't. But I do think there is a middle ground here. I don't know if we're going to get 2017, 2018 Trey Flowers, but what if we got 2019 Trey Flowers, who, when he went to the Lions, we were like, all right, probably wasn't worth the money, but in 2020 and 2021, I almost wonder if he was like, you know what, man, the water here is just not good and my flowers are dying. Is that a horrible analogy? You know what? It probably is. But I also know this. In the NFL, if you think that you can add talent and you can add it at a cheap value, why the hell not do it? Do the Raiders need a defensive end? No. I love Max Crosby. I can't wait to see what Chandler Jones can do. Yes, Cleveland Ferrell is going to be an outside linebacker, but it also won't surprise me if they still try to line him up on the line. Malcolm Kuntz, they're good players, but you know what? If you can get them on a cheap, let's just say 1-year prove-it deal. 1-year prove-it deal. He's got to show out to get his money. Don't give him more than $4 million or something like that, which for him is a major, he's coming down quite a bit of money here. Like, major decrease. So I'm like, all right, you want to prove it? You want to play with a guy who helped you be great before? Then let's go ahead and do it. But I'm a big believer in today's NFL that you just can't have too many edge rushers. You can't. And I want Crosby, Chandler, they're going to be on the field for the most time. But what happens in a scenario when we want to play a 3-4 defense? You line Max Crosby up as an outside linebacker. Maybe you line up Chandler Jones as an outside linebacker. Well, then what about defensive end? Throw in Trey Flowers in there. I'm saying there are opportunities where you can absolutely make it work. I mean, it's simple. Maybe not simple, or else maybe everyone would do it, right? So coming up next, we were going to still talk about, some of these quarterbacks, that the reason why I'm hitting on this, because there's so many damn good quarterbacks in today's NFL, which is why you can never have enough. And we're about to talk about more veteran cornerbacks here in a second. But the reason why I think Trey Flowers and a lot of these edge rushers that I bring up is because I'm going to go through every single quarterback that the Raiders play this year, and maybe -1 or 2, you can make a legit argument for being like top 10, top 15. Justin Herbert, definitely top 10. Kyler Murray, arguably top 10. Ryan Tannehill, we'll say he's 15 or 16, average. Russell Wilson, top 10. Patrick Mahomes, top 5, maybe the best. Jameis Winston, top 20? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, though. Trevor Lawrence, former #1 overall pick. Matt Ryan, maybe a new location. Maybe he can go back to being top 10. Russell Wilson again. Drew Lock, he sucks. Maybe it's going to be Geno Smith. I don't know. Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Okay, Mac Jones. I mean, we're talking about guys who could take that next step. Yes, Mitch Trubisky's not great. Trey Lance, whether you think he's going to be good or not, he at least has upside. And then Patrick Mahomes again. So for the Raiders, why not try to go out and get an extra edge rusher who you can help build that defensive line? Because over the past 5 seasons, and essentially, even when the Raiders had Khalil Mack, they weren't one of the top teams in terms of sacks, but since he's been gone, it's been, as I always say, sorry, Grandma, I love you, Grandma getting out of the tub, ugly. 2017, you're tied for 24th. 2018, dead last with 13 sacks. 13 sacks is a joke. 2019, tied for 24th. 2020, 29th in the NFL. Oh, last year, we're tied for 20th. If you want to take your team to that next level, get after the quarterback, build the defensive line. Maybe Trey Flowers can get us in the top 10. Maybe. I don't know. But you know what? Maybe. All right, y'all. So how many sacks for the Raiders this season? I just went through the numbers. The Raiders haven't surpassed 35 over the past 5 years. I've been sitting up here, and I've been saying 44. That's the number I want. It is a big increase, but with the Crosby deal, $98.98 million, with going out and getting Chandler Jones, with a new defensive scheme that's going to blitz more because Gus Bradley blitzed literally the least that you possibly could blitz for an NFL team. So I want to know, from everyone watching right now, go down to the comments section, how many sacks for the Raiders this season? All right, y'all, as promised, coming up here, we're going to get into some veteran cornerbacks, and I'll give you some names. And I always have people ask me, Mitch, I miss your show sometimes. How can I also stay up to date? Instagram, Twitter, I'm just always posting stuff. And if you already follow me on those platforms, a lot of times you kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek to what I'm going to be talking about. So I appreciate everyone who already watches the show, but I also want you guys to stay up to date news, rumors on those social media outlets. Now, last week, I challenged you guys, and first off, if you're watching, please give yourself a round of applause. You guys did a hell of a job. So on my May 19th video, I said some crazy dude here at Chat Sports commented on a video 53 times, and I was going to shout out the people who commented the most on a future show. So shout out to Voo Dog Gunner. He commented on One Raider Show 366 times. Crazy American 329. Extortion, I can't read. 221, Christian at 123, and then Blue Light 114. All I'm saying is these are big-time numbers out there, so shout out to all of y'all. All right, the next topic of discussion here, the Raiders. Are they interested in going out and getting a veteran corner? I'm going to go ahead because I have actually heard from somebody who I trust that the Raiders are interested in signing another veteran corner. It's for just win babies. Believe it, baby. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the Raiders are doing their homework, and the Raiders have been doing their homework. When they missed out on James Bradberry, that meant, okay, Bradberry was plan A. Sometimes you got to use plan B. You don't always want to use plan B, but you don't want a situation where that just win baby turns into a baby, right? Another side of this is you're going to have to wait and see what Trayvon Mullen's doing. If you believe that Trayvon Mullen's going to be healthy, then maybe you don't need to go out and do this. If you are a little bit concerned that he's not going to be that guy or not going to be healthy going forward, then that also raises some concern. I like Anthony Everett a lot. The Raiders have mentioned Nate Hobbs as being a potential outside corner, but for them, they saw Rock Ya-Sin. They saw cornerback as a need. They traded away Yannick Ngakoue, who they felt was probably not the best fit in Patrick Graham's system. But in terms of a veteran cornerback, I am going to give you guys 5 names. The 5 veteran corners that I want you to at least keep in the back of your mind. And the team in parentheses is the team they played for last season. Janoris the Jackrabbit Jenkins, Brashad Breeland, Joe Hayden, Chris Harris Jr. Now he's a little bit more in the slot. And then Xavier Rhodes. I am also going to go ahead and give you a few more names, but I do have a question for you. Should the Raiders sign a veteran cornerback? I want you to go ahead right now, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching this on Rumble, Facebook, I don't care where, type S for sign or P for pass. My answer is yes, and because you saw last season, they can be very valuable. When you really sit down and look at the Raiders defense last year, I think one of the biggest reasons why they took a step forward, Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward was literally a coach on the field. So if you can go out and find another player coach out there, yeah, you're probably not going to find another Casey Hayward, but why not go out and get a guy like Janoris Jenkins? Put him on the outside, let him be that player coach. He fits the Patrick Graham system, which he's already played in. And if let's just say, okay, I'm confident in Mullen, we don't want to go out and get an outside corner. The fact that Chris Harris Jr. is still out there, you could throw him in the nickel. I'm not simply saying that he's going to take time away from Nate Hobbs. I would rather have Nate Hobbs on the field. But if you're going to run a 4-2-5 defense where you need five cornerbacks out there, Chris Harris Jr. is a perfect example of that. He's played with the Chargers. He's played with the Broncos. So the fact that he's still out there, those are some veterans that I'd keep in mind. Now, if you're looking for younger corners, and when I say younger, I did 28 years and younger, okay? As it stands right now. Kevin King is a name to keep in mind. Fabian Moreau. Troy Pride Jr. is a player that I've talked about before. He was actually just released because of an injury, but there are some connections there with some Raider staff. Mackenzie Alexander, inside corner. And then the last name, Dante Dean, who played on the Rams last year. So we do have a new feature here on YouTube. And if you want to be able to support the show, if you want to be able to get a shout out on future Raiders Report shows, you can go ahead and send in a super thanks. It's literally just like a super chat. So major shout out to Ty Davis, who sent in this one earlier in the week. It said, I think they extend Renfrow first, then Waller, much later only because Renfrow is almost up. Or maybe they do them both at the same time. Giggity. The new regime is pretty aggressive. That is a really aggressive regime, and I agree with you. I think, personally, Renfrow gets his extension before Darren Waller. The final thing that I'm going to talk about here in my news and rumors segment on the Raiders Report is Sincere McCormick, the Raiders UDFA at a UTSA. He is done for the season, and at first, I saw he got put here on the injured reserve list for an undisclosed injury. I tried to dig into it a little bit more. I've been told that it was a stash play that they don't want, or they want to be able to have him next year. So when I see that, they know how deep the Raiders running back room is as it currently stands, and they're hoping that he can be on the team next year, which, again, probably means bad things for some of the other Raiders running backs currently on the roster.